Adam Murphy, Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate here in Wisconsin. So I'm a little casual. I'm about to head off to class, healthcare economics, and big Brewers fan and excited the baseball will be back. Anyway, I did a video a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago, talking about oil pricing, global oil, oil drilling, new wells, U.S. oil production, all sorts of stuff. And it got about 400,000 views in 4 days, which was absolutely fabulous, and over 3,000 comments and questions, which again was just awesome. And so I'm starting to respond to some of those comments and questions in video, and this is one that I wanted to talk about where we're getting into tariffs. And the question was, well, the drills, right, the oil rigs themselves need steel, and steel's more expensive because of the tariffs that China has put on steel, and so maybe it makes more sense for us to buy U.S. steel. And cool, but reversed. It's actually the United States that had put tariffs on steel, on importing steel, and not just Chinese steel, but actually globally. And what we found out is, first of all, it really affected our allies the most. So it affected NATO, Europe, Mexico, Canada, those are our allies. And it did very little to China because, quite honestly, we weren't importing a whole lot of Chinese steel. And we weren't importing much Chinese steel because of their business practices. And so we'd kind of banned some of the Chinese steel imports. So we actually weren't bringing much in. What this did is it just negatively impacted our allies and pissed them off, understandably. And so then they turned around and put tariffs on us for things like Harley Davidsons. Sure that helped Wisconsin a lot, as well as things like Kentucky bourbon. Mitch McConnell. Anyway, so prices went up for steel because of the tariffs. And U.S. producers, while they produced a little bit more, but demand didn't really change, they produced a little bit more, but their prices went up because they could. Because the tariff of 25% on imported steel meant that if it was $100 and they were meeting that price, well, now it was going to be 125. So why wouldn't I raise my price? And that's what they did. And so what happened is that everything that uses steel simply became much more expensive for you and I. Then COVID hit, everything crashed. In particular, some of the stuff for steel markets like automobiles, right? All of that crashed. And so production dropped dramatically for steel and aluminum, and prices also dropped. Again, it makes perfect sense. So then, as things have ramped back up and we've had massive growth and demand, now steel and aluminum are trying to catch up. Well, again, not easy and quick to just automatically start it back up. So right now, demand is severely outpacing supply, which is why prices are now twice as high as they were pre-COVID. Welcome to tariffs, welcome to COVID, welcome to global supply and demand for products that are produced and demanded all around the globe. We need to understand this, and we need to stop messing with it because it costs you and I all more money and 75,000 jobs.